3 EST. It's time for Mike and me, and we're celebrating our last joint broadcast here today, Mike. So let's go out with a bang, and definitely we did with tariffs coming in Monday morning with huge gaps. And I mean, it was a gap fest. I haven't seen a gap fest like that in a long time. I came in flat currency positions. So when the dollar gapped up, if I had already been short the dollar, I probably would not have been able to get up the gumption to assume more risk with a big gap against me. The fact that I was flat and warned people to be flat going into the weekend gave me the ability to react to the reaction. So it's in the room, sold the dollar at 109 here on Sunday night, was risking 50 over the high at over 110. Here we are, 140 lower in 24 hours. My selection on foreign currencies was my style is I want to buy the thing that holds up the best. So I was planning on buying euro, but euro was already under, you can see it better on a 4 hour, was already under 78.6. Okay. I was looking to buy it last week coming in. I thought I'd be buying it at 103.10, but it gapped all those levels, and it's at 78%, right? So that's pretty weak. Aussie, which has also bottomed, was actually making a new low. So I'm not going to buy something making the new low when I could buy cable, which held right at the 61.8 level. So I went with the relative strength. I was a little early at 23, risking 100 or so, and the worst drawdown was 50 pips Sunday night, Monday morning, and here we are with 180 pip lead on cable. I covered all my bearish positions in the stock market. I don't know what to do there. And the only new thing I'm doing is a high risk trade, trading a 3 drive to a top possibility in gold. It's reached some fib levels. I'm not sure if it was 238 or 258, but just playing this divergence, I know it's like 85, 90% bulls right now. So high risk counter trend trade, risking 25 bucks. I'm short from right about here, 236. So, I'm going to be risking 262. But if we get a top here, just a normal correction could take us back down to 2,700. So we'll see. And people are asking me this too, Mike. They're going, well, Dale, I know you're a dollar bear. How could you be shorting gold? And what I promised myself was in the new regime and new environment we're in, I'm throwing away the jigsaw puzzle of correlations. I don't need to be sitting here and figure out this, well, the dollar, that should do this. I've thrown out correlations and I'm trading each instrument like its own individual entity.
Sure.
So that's what I'm doing going forward. What's happening on your side today? I'm going to give you the
Continuing
screen.
to trade each individual instrument like it is. And one of the things that we do and keep harping on here is about, if you can share, is about call flow. And that's what puts us in.
Yeah.
At least it's one of the things that we believe in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If I would implore everybody to go to the TradeGateHub YouTube channel, I believe, just I'm getting out of some stocks too. AGQ, I'm very bullish on. Got out of 90% here. As posted in the room, I look at the weekly, I'm looking to buy it and pull back, but yet I'm continuing to add to a stock. So I sold, if you will, the triple ETF commodity, and I'm still building a position in this MAG here. Stocks that have been working, Amazon falls off the board. Mentioned it this morning in TGH, same thing again. Planeteer leading it higher, and that's it. Spotify, gap and goes. There are more gap and goes. As a matter of fact, per recent conversation, or as what I've been posting, I actually love the fact that General Motors is getting hurt, or Merck is down $8 or whatever. Again, it's out with the old and with the new. UPS, same thing. I'm aware, and I get it. But there are new ones. MPC Refiner, not new to anybody, and that's certainly not breaking out.
What is MAG? MAG.
It's a silver stock.
What's the title, the name of it? Do you know?
Yeah, MAG.
Oh, MAG Mines. What
Actually, MAG's,
what exchange?
don't know.
Okay. I never heard of that one.
Okay. That's bullish, by the way, for a pro that's never heard of silver, which is acting well, in my opinion, but I digress. Uh, VIX. Okay, yesterday had the chance. Now it's sitting on a short term, the 10-day. I get it. We're going into weekend, and by the way, just like Coach, you brought it out. It's tariffs and earnings. Anything outside of that, whether your time span is a day, 24 hours, and expanding to that, that's up to you. But the bulk of the movement is coming with this, and if you're not aware of it, don't play. I get it. I get it. I'm not saying don't buy protection. I'm not saying don't do anything. Don't do anything else.
It's a great segue because tomorrow Jim Carroll's going to be with us, and his handle is the Vixologist, and he's also a portfolio manager for hedge fund telemetry. And he's going to talk about just, it's much more intricate than just looking at a VXX chart or a VIX chart. You have to know term structures, and he'll be doing a deep dive on how he uses it to prune portfolios at times. Because last week, before we had this break Monday, he was telling people to at least be a little bit careful
Mm-hmm.
because of his VIXometer. So he'll be a great guest tomorrow.
Well, a couple of things it says to me is you continuing to curate our feed and get great guests. And I'm first, certainly from a person that looks at the VIX as just an entity and doesn't know a lot about it and always wants to learn, I'll be watching as usual as well. All
Yeah,
right.
so it's a good place for people to learn about the VIX because Jim, and like you, Mike, Jim doesn't trade the VIX, but it's a tool that, just another tool that he uses for, should I be 80% in, 70% in? Should I be raising cash? Should I be redeploying? So it's used that way
Right. Yeah.
instead of what I would do and go out and buy VIX calls that don't trade when the VIX goes to 60.
Well,
That
that's
was the last time I'll ever trade a VIX call.
unfortunately, you got to wait. You can't, not only do you have to be right, you have to be, well, you know what? It's not only the timing, you got to wait till 9 o'clock. It's horrible to wait till the market. Everybody's like, right at 9 to what's
it's another, war story.
Netflix.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holding the 1,000. Is that going to, IBM?
Hey, I think we could have a melt up. That's why I'm out.
Okay.
But, at least new highs. What I'm doing though, which is different than you, is I'm looking at things that have displayed weakness and hoping that the market rallies, because I'd love to go back into NVIDIA at 135 or so, and back into Apple at 240 or higher. So go market, go, and give me another entry. This is the way I'm looking at it.
These shippers look like they'd be a decent. No, I hear you, Coach.
What's that? DHT? What's that? That
That's
looks
a
good.
shipper. And this fro, a couple of these shippers front line with taking some pulls off the bottom, which, it's not, the shippers are more emblematic of something macro than actually the group running because, bulk belt, the rates and all that other type of stuff.
That's a nice looking chart. They got everyone out before this candle.
I saw it. I'm not in it. I don't know if I'm going to. We'll see. BKSY, the stock, this Black Sky Technologies, just, ASTS, Louis Pinto's in the room buying this thing off the bottom. Yet it's not making new highs, but there seems to be some at least technical support on some things for people to believe in. Yes, they very easily could break, but there are reasons to do. There seems to be more reasons to enter trades than not, just maybe not predicated upon its size. I
Yeah, I
understand.
mean, it looks like a big consolidation pattern that's going to give you another wave. That
Here's Bob. China still going, shrugging off any JD, shrugging off everything Trump. Shrug.
they love the only 10%. I don't think we have to worry about tariffs until we enter a retaliatory stage by someone. That's when the market won't be able to recover from a, 150 handle gap lower opening.
No,
That was amazing to me how it came back. And that was news, really. It was all really, wasn't it? Didn't they turn it on Mexico they're going to delay it for 30 days?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he could listen. It's the art of the deal. That's everybody's saying he bluffed it. I never listen. I still haven't understood anything yet.
I've heard that they already have 15,000 troops at the border.
Oh, I don't. I'm not.
And, I mean, yeah,
That's.
that's why I don't watch TV. I watch charts.
I
So,
agree.
yeah.
Hims, we all know it. Hims, another product on everybody's shelf.
Oh,
Hims are good health.
I haven't called them yet, but
Bullish on him.
it,
You want to
it,
bullish.
it definitely has an erect look to the chart.
This Planeteer pulled back. I don't know it. IBM pulled back. These things. Who knows? There's still a lot of these gaps that I just
They're breakaway gaps, the last few that flashed by my eyes.
I get it. Pepsi, out with it. Next. You know what I mean?
The new
Sure.
generation.
Next.
I think it's lollipop is
But
the new beverage.
last time we spoke, Coach, I actually thought this was bullish. We talked about GM. I love when they wipe this out. All right, we talked about the UPS thing. I thought that was bullish. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Don't. Even when FedEx is like this, they're both everybody's bifurcating. You believe me, UPS isn't as bad as FedEx. I
Wow.
don't know. Hood. There you go with Hood.
Yeah. They've been on that for many, many
Well, Coach,
points.
listen, the bottom, there's some place to go now. You know what I mean? And it comes down to discipline. And when you have the VIX here, there you go. I'm not saying it can't flip. I'm not saying I'm aware that they could pull the rug anytime, especially after the end of the month is the beginning of the month, if you will, coming into, well, we still have a lot of earnings this week, but this is where you cut down to fundamentals. I'm not going to lie. The last thing anybody's going to worry about in our room is where to go. It's, when the fix is here, if something's not working, get rid of it because there's very few reversals, as you see by these earnings gaps. They might pull back for 1% or 2, but with the VIX like here, they're letting it, cut the weeds and water the flowers, let the winners go. I understand that maybe commodities and oil and gold, like Coach says, I'm aware of it. That's why I pieced off of some AGQ. Maybe I'm wrong, but commodities are more apt to rotate a little bit sensitively in this type of. But from these other individual stocks that I pointed out, uh, it's what's going on. We're all chasing the same stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Up
that
and
pal
down, up and
that
down.
my buddy's son was very long Palantir when it's back in Chicago in October. So he's smiling.
Bravo! I applaud the fact he's even aware. Forget about
Yeah.
being it.
Young
Bravo.
guy in his 30s, smart kid.
Yeah. All right, good. Have him on. I'll leave it here. This is the most active list. I'll be back for 3 p.m. Power Hour. Coach, next guest is always on. Is always posting across our social media accounts across the board.
Yeah.
Until then, Coach, thank you for always posting a room. It's been an honor. We'll hook up again, definitely for sure. And until then, thank you for always leading by example. And I'll personally try to do better the next time. And thanks for everybody behind the scenes to make it happen, including our sponsor, TradeView Markets.
And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I know you could find at least a couple.
Yes.
And we'll see you later on. See you in the room.
Okay. Cheers, Coach. Cheers, everybody.